Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new video. We are gonna talk about my mid-year book tag. Today's mid-year book tag day. So I'm gonna start off by talking about my goals for this year and if they've been met or what their progress are for right now. So in the beginning of the year, I decided to do a goal of 35 books. Mostly because I wanted to set a goal that wasn't a burden or that wasn't like a goal that would make reading feel pressurized or like a burden or something I had to do. But also a goal where it's like, wow, I read 35 books. But if I read more than that, hey, that's a win. I might do 45 or probably 50 and see if I get to the 50 mark. Because that's half 100 books. Like, that's a lot for me personally. Because I feel like I'm not really a fast reader, but I'm not a slow reader either. Like, I feel like I'm average. But I am a busy person. So when it comes to reading, sometimes I'm cut off time from reading. So the first question is best book I've read so far. So I'm going to try not to repeat as many books or like a lot of books. But there are 3 that are like books that I still think about to this day. So one of them has to be Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I loved everything about this book. This was a 5-star book for me. I'm pretty sure that this was the second book I read in 2024. So it was the second book of this year, meaning it was the first 5-star of 2024. So let's just sink that in, let that sink in. But honestly, I love this book so much. The writing was amazing, very poetic, very, like, I love, here's the thing. So when it comes to writing, I love when authors, like, when it comes to reading, I love poetic writing, or I love writing where it's like you read it and it's like, wow, that is literature right there. Like, that is writing. It's not like, basic writing, that's okay. Like, I feel like it's entertaining, you know, if the plot is good or if the storyline is good, it's like, you know, I'll deal with it. But I love writing in a sense where, like, when the writing of the author makes me feel something, I can't. Like, it's just like, it's like when a movie and, like, your favorite scene of the movie happens and you feel that scene. It's literally like that, but with words on paper. Like, I love it when authors really get literature down on paper. Like, they use metaphors, figurative language, similes, personification. They really bring emotion to the page. Another thing I really loved about this book was the setting. It was kind of like late 1800s, early 1900s vibes. It was amazing. One thing I love is historical fiction. I'm not saying that's what it is because this is definitely a fantasy or romantasy, but the writing and the setting was very historical fiction setting, and I just love that in books. Like, I found, like, this book really showed me something and, like, made me learn something about myself that I didn't know until I read this book. And clearly that is, I really enjoy historical fiction writing or historical fiction setting. Like, but not only that, the romance was just so pure. The romance was just so emotional, so pure, so amazing, so, like, I literally felt this book tugging on my heart. Like, I felt every single thing on this book, like, every single page. Overall, 5-star book. I still think about it to this day. I think of Roman and Iris's romance and relationship to this day. Like, I need every edition of this book made. Next book I have to say is my favorite is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. If you guys don't know, this is Lauren Roberts' first debut novel. I feel like when you read this and you don't know her backstory or like the backstory of this book, you would never in your life think that this is her first book. Like, you would probably think by the writing and the plot and the story, you would probably think that this is at least her 3rd released book. Guys, this is her debut novel. Like, this is her first book. Like, but honestly, this book was also amazing. I loved her writing. I loved how fast-paced it was. Their relationship, guys, Kai and Peyton have to be, like, Honestly, like, I can't. Like, I can rant about this book forever. Another 5-star read for me across the board. Her writing was good. The writing was amazing. Their relationship was amazing. You can literally... The banter, the tension, the chemistry, the relationship, everything about it was just amazing. Amazing. It's just, like, amazing. I'm very excited for her second book. I haven't read Powerful yet, which is the novella that comes after this. So it's the novella which is based on her best friend in this book. And if you guys know, you know. You guys know. Like, But I haven't read that novella yet. A lot of people say it was really good. A lot of people end up crying because if you know, you know. But it was just such a good book. I love this book so much. I'm excited to read the novella and Reckless, which is book 2 in this series. I'm not sure if there's going to be more than 2 or if it's just going to be a duology. But Reckless came out today and I'm really hoping that I can stop by Barnes tomorrow and get my hands on that book. We'll see. We'll see. The 7-Year Slip. Definitely this book was amazing. Amazing. I love this book so much. This is my first Ashley Poston book. I actually finished this, I think, literally last week or 2 weeks ago. This book was just so amazing. 4.5 stars. Her writing in this was just so amazing. Again, I am in love with poetic writing. Like, I'm in love with writing that is just so emotional. Like, it makes you feel what is happening. Like, it makes you feel the words off the page. Like, Ashley Poston did an amazing job at her writing and the storytelling. Everything about this book was just amazing. The main character, Clementine, I think she has to be the most relatable character in the world that I've ever read about. Well, that's probably stretching it a little bit. Out of all the books I've read since I got back into reading 2 years ago, this character has to be the most relatable one to me. Like, she's literally me on paper. Like, Clementine is literally me on paper. And Ian, his passion for cooking, his character was just so amazing. I felt both characters were completely flushed out. Like, you really get their depth and you get deeper into their personalities. Like, I feel like one thing I love about romance is that it's not just the romance being thrown at you. It's not like these two characters meet and then they fall in love. I love it when the romance is built. Like, you get to know these two different characters. You get to fall in love with them. You get to know them. You get to know their deepest, like, parts of them and stuff like that. And then they fall in love. Like, it's literally like you're watching two of your best friends fall in love. Like, it's literally like that. And I love it when a romance is like that. Like, I love it when the both characters are flushed out and then they fall in love. Like, you get to know everything about these two characters. And when they fall in love, it's just amazing. But this book was just so good. The setting, the plot, the storyline, the characters, everything about it was just so good. Amazing. Like, amazing. Next question is best sequel I've read so far. I have 2 books for that. And that is, first one, The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. Guys, I'm pretty sure if you guys see my last vlog, if you guys haven't, I'm going to link it down below or put it up on the screen. But if you guys haven't seen my last vlog, I'm pretty sure I've talked about my love for this series deep enough. This is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. And this is a spin-off of the Caraval trilogy that Stephanie Garber wrote. And this book was just 5 stars. 5 stars. Like, Like, I just can't. Like, one thing for sure, I need the Barnes & Noble's special edition of this. When I first bought the first book of this series, I had no idea what the book was. Literally. I go into the bookstore with my mom, and then I see this beautiful pink book, and I'm like, wow, this is really beautiful. Pick it up, literally bring it home. 2 months later, it's all over the internet. I'm literally seeing everybody rave about this book. And I'm like, that's crazy. I literally bought, what I didn't know is that I literally bought the Barnes & Noble special edition of the first book. I waited, I think, a year to read the first book in order to have the rest of the books in paperback. Clearly, that didn't happen because I couldn't wait. Those of you who know me, you guys know I'm impatient. So, I need the purple book. I really, like, one thing that really got me so annoyed, I picked up this book a week later. The special edition of this book came out in Barnes. Literally, the purple version of this came out, and I was like, that's amazing. But this book was just so amazing. I loved the setting of this. The setting of this was so enchanting. I could literally visualize myself in this book. Like, while reading this, I literally felt myself in that moment. Like, I literally saw myself in that moment. Like, her setting was so enchanting. Her writing was just so immersive. It was just so good. It was so amazing. I love this book so much. Next thing you know, best other sequel I read this year had to be Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. Her writing in this book was just so good. Another thing is I loved the two main characters. I loved their romance. This was honestly, it has to be one of my favorite books, which is surprising because going into the series, it's the Dreamland Billionaire series, and each book is about 3 brothers. So it's 3 brothers, and then you're following each and every one of them in the 3 books. And then you get introduced to the youngest brother, Cal, in the first and second book. Literally reading those 2 books, I expected the third one to be my favorite. I expected the third one to be the one that was the 5-star book for me. Plot twist, the final offer was a 4.5 for me, and this one ended up being the 5-star for me. I loved Iris as the female main character. I thought she was so amazing, so cool. I felt like Iris was literally the definition of a boss lady. And Declan's character development was honestly, I think, my favorite one out of all 3. Cal's character development was also amazing, don't get me wrong. I loved his development, I loved his sacrifice, I loved his willingness. But Declan, I feel like out of all 3 characters, besides, I don't know, they each had their own problems, they each had their own upbringing. But I felt like Declan's was just so, like, I don't know, I felt like his character development was so amazing. As the oldest brother, he had to grow up taking care of his 2 younger brothers from an abusive dad. And he basically grew up as their father figure that he literally grew up raising his 2 younger brothers. Like, and then just seeing him find himself, just seeing him fall in love, just seeing him let himself loose and let himself be open to someone was just so... His character development was honestly... I think his character development has to be one of my favorite character developments. New releases I haven't read but want to. Don't kill me for this, y'all. Don't kill me. I have one of them with me right now, and that is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. If you guys don't know, I read Yours Truly last year. That was my first Abby Jimenez book. 5-star. Jacob. Wow. Like, talk about an act of service man. Like, that's a man right there. Like, amazing. I loved that book so much. That really gave me high hopes for Abby Jimenez. Then I found out that I was reading the cinematic universe of her books completely wrong. Because then the next book I read was the Happily Ever After playlist. That book ended up being 2 stars for me. Yeah. I didn't really like that book. I really, At first, it started off amazing. I was in love with the characters. I was in love with the book. I was like, oh my goodness. Towards the middle, I felt like it was getting really repetitive. I felt like the 2 characters weren't really growing, weren't really advancing or moving forward. And I felt like towards the end it was just toxic. Like I just felt it was completely toxic. So I haven't read this book because clearly, if you can tell, my experience with Abby Jimenez has been one 5-star read and then one huge disappointment. So I've heard amazing things about this book. It's been almost 5 stars for everyone who's picked it up. And I'm really excited to read about our characters, Emma and Justin. And I'm really excited to read about their relationship and their story. But let's just say I'm terrified. I literally read, when this book came out, I went to Barnes literally a week before this week. I literally went to Barnes. I don't even remember. I think the book I went to go pick up was A Curse for True Love. And then a week later, this book comes out. And I literally pushed my dad. I'm like, Dad, we have to go to Barnes. Like, you need to trust me on this. I know we went last week, but you really need to trust me. Take me to Barnes, I beg you. And it's still here on the cart, waiting to be read. That's how you know I'm just terrified to read it. Like, I'm literally here ranting about it. The book has me, like, terrified, guys. But another new release I haven't read yet but want to is Funny Story by Emily Henry. I'm not sure if you can see. I have all 4 books of Emily Henry right here. Right here, y'all. However, the book has a lot of mixed reviews. There's people that love it. There's people that don't. My favorite YouTubers that are book tastes are very, very similar. They were, like, most of them were disappointed. So it's like, it's very... And then I think that's all I can come up with for new releases I haven't read. Powerful is one of them by Lauren Roberts. That's a new release I haven't read yet. And The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. That is another one I haven't read yet. Don't come after me. Next thing you know, most anticipated read for 2024, or like the second half, has to be Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. I am so excited for that book. Guys, better than the movies, I will never stop yapping about this. If I didn't give that book another chance, I'm not sure if you can see, I literally have all of Lynn Painter's young adult books on display. Like, there's a shelf right here that could be used for more space for more books. That shelf right there is solely for Better Than the Movies and all her other young YA books. Like, Better Than the Movies is still one of my all-time favorite books. I'm very excited for Nothing Like the Movies. Basically, you're following the same 2 characters, Wes and Liz, but you're following them transition into adulthood. Now they're trying to learn how to navigate a adult relationship, how to mature and grow in their relationship together as college students and as adults now. And I'm just so excited for their story. So excited. Another book I'm really excited for is, I think, The Grandest Game, I think that's what it's called, by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And it's the second book in the spin-off on the Inheritance Game trilogy. It's the second book of the spin-off. The first one is The Brothers Hawthorne, which is the spin-off of the trilogy. So she's coming out with the second book. Yep. The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the spin-off of, it's the second book of The Brothers Hawthorne. Clean Point. This is another book that I'm very anticipated for. I haven't heard anybody talk about this book. It's Clean Point by Meg Jones. It looks like it's a tennis romance. But I started playing tennis about 3 months ago-ish. I think this month is gonna hit the 3rd month mark. But guys, I fell in love with tennis. I fell in love. I think I have to thank one of my best friends for the love of tennis, because honestly, without him, probably don't think I ever would have liked tennis. I remember being a little girl thinking, tennis is so whack, it's so cringe. 16-year-old me is like, I beg to differ. But I remember in school, mind you, I'm literally just scrolling through Goodreads, like trying to find like a new book to read or like a new book to find. And then I find Clean Point. The cover, tennis. And I'm like intriguingly hooked. I'm like, interesting. Comes out October 1st, which I'm very excited to read. También. And then The Fiancé Dilemma. That's the one I was finding. By Elena Armas. I read all 3 of her books. I think The Long Game has to be my favorite for now. It's The Long Game, The American Roommate Experience, because guys, Lucas. Newest fictional crush. That has to be where I'm at right now. Newest fictional crush. I think what I can think of right now, like off the bat, my newest top 5 of 2024 has to be Kai, Roman, Aaron. You can never forget about Aaron. Jax, Declan. Yeah. Roman, Kai, Declan, Jax, Aaron, Cassian. That's 6. That's my top 6 of right now. Next thing you know, I have favorite new author. I love. I think right now, Lauren Asher has to be one of my favorite authors as of right now. I love her books so much. I finished the Dreamland Billionaire series. I am ecstatic to read Throttled by Lauren Asher. This is book 1 in the Dirty Air series. And this is an F1 romance. It's a Formula 1 romance. But I'm highly excited. So Lauren Asher, I love her writing style. I love how fast-paced her books are. I really, really enjoy it. Another favorite author of mine is Ashley Paulson. I love her poetic writing. I love her writing so much. Her book was so fast-paced, so romantic, so immersive. I was just so hooked. And then next question I have is book that made me cry. Divine Rivals. Sobbing. The ending. I knew there was a plot twist, but Rebecca Ross literally did us dirty. I was like, that's foul. That's foul right there. That's foul. That's a foul. Yellow flag. Yellow card. That is foul. This book had me sobbing. Right here. Another book that had me crying. Powerless. Crying. Sobbing. Crying my eyes out. If you guys know, you know, when I got to page 450, literally heartbroken. And I'm just crying. I literally just start sobbing. The shock I felt that an author would do this, I was like, another book, plot twist. Let's just keep it going. Keep it going. A Court of Thorns and Roses. The first book in the series made me cry. It's like, how can a character go through so much? You know, how can like an author make a character go through so much just for her to go through something similar when she finds happily ever after? It's like, at this point, you're making it tradition for her to like lose someone or go through something at each of these books. It's like, at this point, you don't like the main character. Like, at this point, you just want to see her sad or like rip her heart out. And then, last but not least, The Ballad of Never After made me cry as well. If you guys know, you know. Again, how can you do that? Like, how can you... It's like these authors have it out for the main characters. It's like, why? Like, do a side character, you know what I mean? I love how I'm saying side character, and Liam, spoiler, literally Liam's death had me sobbing. I love how I'm saying side character. But those books made me cry. Let's talk about the happy ones, yeah? The books that made me happy. 7 Year Slip, ecstatic. I was so joyous, so happy. Terms and Conditions, so happy. Love this book. That's all I got. Rereads. Books I want to reread. I have Beach Read. I want to reread Beach Read by Emily Henry. I want to reread The Cheat Sheet. I want to reread Powerless. And I definitely want to reread Divine Rivals. And then our last question of today's video has to be 5-star predictions for the next half of 2024. So 5-star predictions, I have Throttled by Lauren Asher. I'm predicting this one will be a 5-star for me. I've already read the first sentence, and guys, I'm not kidding when I say I love F1. I literally I think about it now, probably a year ago I probably would have been like, oh well, man, what a big deal, you know? But my dad having a Corvette, my brother never took the Corvette out to the track. Because in Homestead, here in Florida, in Miami, Florida, in Homestead, they have a whole racetrack where you can take your car out and race it. You can literally test out how fast your car can go on the track. To this day, literally thinking about it months later, getting into F1, I'm like, how I wish we still had that car. So I would literally go with my brother right now, with my dad, tomorrow, and go test that car on the track. That's honestly, that's on the bucket list now. To literally get in a car on a racetrack. Bucket list. Want to do that one day. Literally read the first sentence. I inhaled deeply, welcoming the smell of rubber and engine exhaust before I pulled down the visor on my helmet. Gloved hands gripped the steering wheel of my Bandini Formula One race car, my fingers trembling from the engine's vibrations while my race engineer talks into my earpiece. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix crowd bursts in with excitement as the crew pulls off my tire warmers. It's it's already setting the scene for us. You know what I mean? 5-star prediction as well. A novel love story. I'm predicting that this book will be a 5-star read for me. Lately, I've been doing a thing where I'm going into books blind. I'm deciding not to read the summary and to just pick it up and go into it. You know what I mean? I've been deciding, especially books I have in my cart, I've been deciding to not literally read the summary, but to just dive into it and see how it goes. So, getting enough of information here and there, I'm guessing that she dives into a book. She literally gets into a novel. That's what I think. And then another book I have 5-star predictions for is I'm predicting Powerful to be a 5-star read. I'm also predicting Reckless to be a 5-star read. I think The Fiancé Dilemma will be a 5-star read because, guys, I could be matchmaker. I can literally play matchmaker. I I can matchmake people. It could be my gift. I am so good at matchmaking people. I don't know, even in real life, I'm these two, potential, But I literally, reading The Long Game, I really predicted. I was literally curious. I was imagine her best friend falls in love with her sister. Imagine how cute was that. Matthew just going to North Carolina, falling in love with her sister. It's literally that's what The Fiancé Dilemma is about. It's So those are my 5-star predictions for 2024. My leg is falling asleep right now. Literally falling asleep, but that's okay. So those are my 5-star predictions for 2024. And that is the last question of the mid-year book tag. I know I yap a lot. If you guys made it to the end of this video, you guys are achievers. You guys are real ones. If you guys made it to the end of this video, you guys are real. Real ones right here. But if you guys made it to the end of this video, I really hope you guys enjoyed learning about the books that were my favorite, my least favorite, my hyped ones, my not so hyped ones. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing my my progress within the mid-year of this year. I am very excited for the rest of the year reading, and I'm just really excited and I'm very expectant and very happy. So if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe down below. Comment down below if you've read any of these books or if these books are on your radar. Let me know. Comment down below. Comment down below your favorite books, your least favorite books. Comment down below your goals and if you met those goals yet. And just click the bell button down below to be notified when I upload more videos. And if you guys enjoyed, I really hope you guys did.